All right. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders with Millstone, who teach very well while letting this truth from, and salutation out there to the hopeful elect who continue to push this word in all truth, faith, and sincerity. And also, shalom to the many children who sincerely believe upon the words of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And today, just basically getting on the things that's happening throughout the planet Earth, man. Because even though on your block on 42nd Street, things are not kicking off across the whole world, things are getting stirred up, man. Even in Mississippi, the Mississippi Valley is getting dried up. The Ukraine and Russia thing is still going on, and plenty of other things that these devils don't even tell you about. That's the spirit of the Lord being filled throughout the whole planet Earth, man. And basically, I had named this video "The World Is in Shambles." Now, real quick, let's go into the word shambles. Before I started off, the word shambles, just a regular Google definition, it says a state of total disaster. And right there, the world is under a state of total disaster, and especially when the economy crashed, man, the world economy crashed. But let's go to some of these similar words. It says chaos. One thing that came into my mind, order out of chaos, because actually a lot of these things and even the famine that's going to come is man-made things, man. Another thing with these different social media outlets, persuading people mind to think a certain way. Hey, these people actually have a chaotic mind. They're messed up all in the brain. Why? Because they're under the banner of that Babylonian society, man. It's a state of total disaster, chaos, mess, mortal, right here, confusion. And that's why we say abad babal. And when you go into the word babal or Babylon, it actually goes back into a confusion. Over here, you can't tell if somebody's a man or a woman, and even that wickedness have pushed over across the whole world, man. In Thailand, it's a such thing called a lady boy, which is a sick and unsavory thing in the eyes of the Lord. But let's continue on. Right here, a disorder. And a lot of people in America, or a lot of people that come in the state of the Western society, they are having a mental disorder. That's why over here in the West, people indulge in drugs and opioids, Adderall, and different type of pills just so they can get through the day. But what's going to happen when those things get taken out the way? But let's go into this word disorder. Disorder, a state of confusion. These people are going to be confused when things actually kick off. They're confused now because they don't even know what's going on. They think that crowd 19 was just a moment in history, not knowing that we're just at the beginning of shit getting worse, man. It says the disruption, right here, the second definition, the disruption of peace of it's like the disruption of a peaceful and law-abiding behavior. So, hey, the disruption of peace is finna get ready to come up, man. When the food gets short, when the people don't have their next meal, for the lack of better words, they're not going to be in a respective state. They're not going to be, hands to hands and kisses like the Reese's or the Hershey's commercial say, or the sneaker Salakia, the sneaker commercial I always say, you're not yourself when you're hungry, man. And a lot of people are going to be hungry when the times that's coming in. The last one, a illness or condition that disrupt normal physical or mental faculties. Because again, a lot of these people, whether knowingly a lot, they suffer from these different disorders, man. Anxiety, OCD, ADHD, ADD, a lot of things, man. People are coming out, for lack of better words, mental retardation. And as soon as you go through the hell and the ways of Babylon, you get more and more crazier real quick. Because again, even though, Babylon is the main state, these different things are happening throughout the whole world. Right here from RT News, mental health issues rising among youth in England. And right there, that's heavy because that mental health is ultimately, though these mental health issues is ultimately going to lead into violence, man. Right here, a sharp increase in emotional problems has been linked to the impact of the Crown 19 pandemic and the wider global concerns. Yes, man. Sorry, wider global uncertainties, man. So everybody is concerned at the state of the world now, man, because the world don't have that same kick that it had even 5 years ago, even 3 years ago, man. Everything is finna get ready to change, and the whole planet Earth can feel it, but they don't know what it is, man. But the comforting part about the scriptures, we know who, what, when, where, and why it's happening, man. Because ultimately, the reason why this place is being broken down, because Yahweh is to bring up a king of righteousness, man. Because right here is the example of what happened when the wicked are in authority. Let's go ahead and get something real quick, man. This is the book of Proverbs. Proverbs 29, chapter down to verse 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And that's why these mental health issues are being more and more in talks, man. Because people are bugging out. Because for the lack of better words, the party is over it, man. This wickedness, this simple and sick way of life, it's finna be done away with, man. But these people, they want to hold on to this sick place, man. Let's go right here. Just to see. Here you go. The ever rising cost of living, right here, and that's inflation. When people they can't buy food like they did Thanksgiving, was more expensive this year, man. Christmas is going to be more expensive this year, man. So that's why I say it's the ever cost of living in wider global uncertainties are also having an impact on younger people mental health. New Love Delito noted, adding that 17 to 19-year-olds are going through a time of quite stressful change because hey, they already know it's either for lack of better words, is saying world, yes, the children are our future. Hey, these children right now are bugged out, man. They grew up watching SpongeBob. They grew up eating Frosty Flakes and Fruity Pebbles. So their mind didn't develop like men did back in the day. Even the scriptures say that the world shall be weaker through age, man. So again, these guys that 17, 18, 19, even older, they going through a quite stressful time because at the end of the day, shit is finna get worse, man. It's just right here. There are strong associations between poor health, the things that you eat, both physical and mental. Niggas don't work out. Niggas just sit on the ass and play Call of Duty all day, man. Over housing insecurity, financial insecurity, and sadly these days, food and heating insecurity. So it's going to be a point where you're going to have nowhere to stay. You're going to have no money to spend, and you're not going to have no money to eat, no fire to be warm at, man. And ultimately, that's their order out of chaos. They're going to cause these different things to happen, and they're going to try to force you to trust in this government so they can put a tiny device inside you, man. Let's continue on. It says, and we certainly see that the cross section here, and that's pretty much it on here. But it just shows you that everybody can see that shit is getting worse. And as you can see, 31% of women is mostly women than the men, which shows you, man, that the scriptures are real, man. When things get worse, these different women, they're going to look for a man to protect them, man. But a lot of these younger men, they're going to be shipped off into that WW3, or either they're just going to die in the streets, man. So yeah, let's go ahead and get the scriptures. Let's go ahead and get a precept to back it up. This is the book of 2nd Ezra 15, and I'm going to start at verse 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And yes, let's say even if Esau do bring forth a man-made famine, it's still the Lord put the spirit on Esau to do that, man. It says, for wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Yes, because even though America is the headquarters, but hey, this wickedness had even pushed forth over there to Thailand. It's pushed forth over there to England. It's pushed forth over there to African and again across the whole world. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, man. Continuing on. Let's see the penalty behind it. Therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in the things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Yes, man, because you people exercise, for lack of better words, not to get too vivid, people exercise that LGXYZ, transism, for lack of transformers, for lack of better words. That's you exercising wickedness. Once you get an 8-year-old boy, 11-year-old girl, and you feed them hormones, and wait till they get a certain age and end up cutting their rod off. That's a sick thing, man. But guess what the Lord said? It says, I will not suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. So, Lord, He's not going to let you niggas get away with it, man. It says, behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. Right there. We sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof, man, because it's the sick world that we're living in, and it's only going to get worse and worse, man. Like the scripture says, shall no flesh be saved if the Lord don't come and quickly, man. You know. Let's go to Second Ezra, and this is how we know that He's coming quickly, because shit is getting stirred up throughout the planet Earth. Second Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. How are we measuring the time diligently in itself? We're watching the prophecies, man. Whether it be an article about the lack of food, or whether it be an article about the digital dollar, man. That's a part of you measuring the time diligently. It says, and when thou seest part of the signs past, I have told thee before, that you see certain these signs passing, you can see, that's how the family gonna get set up. Well, that's how they gonna push forth the chip, Because again, for the lack of better words, the Lord, he don't have to do it something that's convenient for you, man. Just because it ain't happening in your block yet doesn't mean it's not happening all across the world, man. I know China over there, they got their social credit system kicked off, But this how we know that these different things are coming upon America, man. So when they do come, we won't be caught with our pants down. Continuing on. It says, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time when in the highest will begin to visit the world which He made. Yes, you're going to understand that Yahweh Shai is on His way. How do we know that Yahweh Shai is on His way? Because things are getting stirred up, man. What they say? How would the Lord will come send fire if it's already kindled, roughly paraphrasing, which shows you when Yahweh Shai do return, hey, it's going to be a peak of shit getting stirred up, for the lack of better. World War III and all that is going to be going on when Yahweh Shai comes, man. So the pot is going to be well stirred before Yahweh Shai come, but we're not going to get caught with our pants down. We're not going to get stirred up in that pot, man. Because for the lack of better words, the people that's in this cauldron, the people that's in this wicked place, they're not knowing what's going on, man. They're not knowing the vibration upon the planet Earth because they're so used to just looking on that block. They're just so used to looking at this, that, and the third, not knowing that the presence of the Lord is sneaking up on you. Continue on to verse 3. Therefore, when thou shalt be seeing earthquakes, more than 1,000 earthquakes have been going on in the year of 2022, man. And how much more in 2023? It says in uproars of the people in the world. Now, those earthquakes is also earth-shaking events, man. Like, again, whether you know it or not, that Crown 19 was an earth-shaking event. And it uproared the people, too, because it was people fighting against the Maxims. And it's still finna be for the lack of better words, it's finna be a second wave of it, man. And it's going to be more and more resistance. And what Esau is going to do that resistance, he's going to sit back and let these guys do what they do. No, he's going to come down with great wrath to try to push forth this NWO, man. Continuing on, it says, then thou shalt well understand that the highest spake of those things from the days before thee, even from the beginning. It's the Lord, He been spoke about, the famine, sedition, people losing their minds, man. It says the heart of many shall wax cold. The Lord been spoke about these things, man. Continuing on, it says, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world had the beginning and the end, in the end is made manifest. And yes, the end of America and the end of the rulership of Esau is being made manifest. Let's go to this article real quick. Bad from Al Jazeera. Bad news. Headlines are getting more negative and angrier. Right there, man. Shows in this spirit, hunger is a story we can end. Hey, hunger is going to lead to that anger, man. Hunger is going to lead to that sedition among men. Let's get this real quick in second Ezra 15. Let's jump down to verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Yes, man. One to you guys that love this social media. One to you guys that love this wicked society, man. The Lord said destruction unto you niggas, man. You guys is in the same mindset of this society because you're in the world. You're in this valley of the shadow of death, man. You're not trying to seek the light. So guess what's going to be the judgment of you being in that darkness? Continuing on in verse 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth man. The Lord going to have Esau waiting on you. If not Esau, just a crackhead on the street. This guy, he been homeless for 13 years. And soon as you got on your first day, he got you, you know, because you have food and he didn't. This is the situations that's going to come upon the planet Earth, man, especially in this Western hemisphere, because this Western society is not used to being uncomfortable, man. Is not used to being in the struggle, for the lack of better words, man. They used to having everything at their fingertips. But when those things at your fingertips be taken away, you're going to be left out there, man. It says, for that sword and their destruction draweth nigh, that were not meaning near. It says, and one people shall stand up to fight against another with swords in their hands, whether it be the Democrats versus the Republicans, whether it be the North versus the South, whether it be neighborhood versus neighborhood, whether it be black versus white, whether it be Elam versus Ishmael. No matter how it be, at the end of the day, Yahweh Shai, he's stirring things up. That's why this article said people are getting more angry. It says the headlines are getting more angry and more negative, man. Because it's nothing good that's going to be prophesied of Babylon. Even the old media outlets realized it. It says new research shows that the right-leaning media outlets tend to be more negative and angry, but the left peddles fear too. So what they're going to do, they're going to try to force you to bow down to this society. They're going to try to force you to, for the lack of better words, subject yourself or submit yourself into this wicked society, man. Whether it be, I'm scared what's going to happen to the guys that, I'm scared what's going to happen if they kick me out my house and they say I can't come back into the city again unless I get this tiny device. That's how they're going to push forth the fear, and they're going to push forth their anger, saying if you don't take this tiny device, they're going to kill you, man. That's the lifestyle that we're finna get ready to go in, man. I'm going to read a little bit more on this article. Read a little bit more on the precept. It says, for there shall be sedition among men and evading one another. Yes, because if you're a Republican and nigga across the street, a Democrat, it's going to be on. It says, for there shall be sedition among men and evading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes. And that's what a lot of these Americans starting to realize now, that this society is full of shit. One good movie on Netflix that I watched recently was called Vice, which basically it was a comedy / drama about Dick Cheney. And this guy, he was nothing but a brute tyrant, man. You read the things he did. This guy, he was the ultimate gangster. This guy, he shot a guy in the face on a hunting trip, and the guy apologized. How gangster can you be to do that, man? This kid seem wrong, but he says you're not going to regard them because everybody realized that those different kings and those different princesses, those different governors and mayors are full of shit. It says in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So they're not going to trust in the media no more. They're not going to trust in the society no more. They're going to end up trusting in themselves. Why? Because they realize how full of shit this place is, man. Now let's go right here. It says, we can certainly determine instead is how the sentiment, positive or negative, and emotional undertones such as fear, anger, and joy of news content compare with the same metrics at different points in time. And in this point in time, it wasn't no influence like no other because it's social media influencers, man. Because when you look at guys like Alex Jones, even Kanye West, any type of rapper or any type of NBA player, those are social influencers, man. I think in order to be classified as a social media influencer, you have to have over 10,000 people following you on your social media program, man. So if you got 10,000 people following you, and let's say if you post a picture saying that you hate Trump or whatever, let's say if only 1,000 of those hearkening to what you got, then ultimately those people won, because 1,000 of those, they're gonna repost it. Then they're gonna repost it, and they're gonna repost. That's how these devils do. It's called a wildfire or going viral, man. Because when Eastside regular go viral, and when these different people go viral, it'd be a sudden thing. And over a pass of 2 or 3 days, the guy got 2 million followers or whatever. And over a matter of 2 weeks, now it's the next guy up. It's the next time the person get viral. Let's continue on though. That's why I say it's the metrics of a different point, because they actually, for lack of better words, did in deep thought. That's why I say it's the heart of every one of those are deep, man. They know how long you watch a video, whether you watched it for the whole 15 seconds or 5. They know the algorithm that's going to catch your attention. That's what these devils have done. It says this allows us to establish where the news media content is becoming more positive over time, more negative, or pretty much staying the same. For the past 2 years, and since the global pandemic, we have carried out the research project to find out precisely that the sentiment of emotional undertones of 23 million headlines from the representative sample of 47 news outlets popular in the United States over 2019 frame, it says the sheer volume of the headlines was considered meant that we needed to use artificial intelligence, that's the algorithm, in the form of machine learning models, bots, whose performance is on par with human raters for the automatic classification of sentiment and emotional in headlines. So basically, they doing tear jerkers, man. Esau try to use these big words. They using AI and algorithms to see what will pull you emotionally, see what to get you mad, to see what for lack of better words, see what to get you sad, see what make you feel sorry for somebody. Because even during the early 2000s, with the 9/11. If I'm not mistaken, I think Times letter or whatever, that 9/11 cover was one of their best sellers. Why? Because people was under a sense of emotional distress. And again, that's what these devils are going to do. They're going to use emotional distress. They're going to use anger. They're going to use fear, just to put you towards a certain way. And that's a part of their order out of chaos, man. Order at chaos will show you that the world is full of shambles, but these devils are going to try to correct it with their NWO. But you're not going to achieve that device, Esau. Even all your algorithms, all your AI technology, no matter what you do, you're going to succumb to prophecy. So yeah, I can pray over the other found say, call Halayim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Rakak Wadash, Shalom DTA, and the Bible.